Fiyin Gambo is an award-winning 19-year-old filmmaker based in Lagos State. He is set to revolutionize the film industry with films that harness innovative technologies like computer-generated imagery and visual effects to enhance the visual storytelling experience. His mission is to create images never seen before on African screens and to export the ingenuity of Nollywood to the rest of the world. He is dubbed by many as Africa's youngest action director. He's currently in his final year at Covenant University studying civil engineering.
Asked me how come I'm so bold to chase big dreams, and I tell people that the experiences you're able to create yourself and the experiences you have while growing up are very pivotal and incremental to who you are and to your ideologies and to your boldness and your confidence as a person. So it was 2012. I was elected in as the head boy by the people of the school, and I wanted to do something really different. I didn't just want to go about punishing people, telling people that you can't let kneel down here. No, I wanted to revitalize the social life of the school, and I was going to do that. I was going to do this big talent hunt. So I said I was going to get the first prize, a tablet, second prize, an iPod, third prize, a BlackBerry. I mean, I was just earning 200 naira per day as a day student. Times, even if you multiply it times 5 years, that's just in 1K. I mean, the tabs are even pretty much expensive around that time. So how does this 13-year-old kid thinks he can put it up? And to now break the camel's back, I said I was going to bring Project Film with Africa's judge, Miss Ige, to the event, to judge the event. People thought I was crazy. But my team partly believed in it. I was able to share the vision infectiously. But people were really cool and everything. But fast forward to 12/12/12, that was the day we had in December. The 13th day after that, we gave the first prize, the tablet, second prize, the iPod, third prize, the BlackBerry. So having sort of experience at such a young age, I mean, Ige, yeah, she did come to the event. So at that point, I knew that everything was possible if I put my mind to it and I put God in it. So at that point, that was a turning point for me. And from then on, if I see something, I visualize, I say it. Law of attraction, it happens. So that's how I see the world. What inspired me to be a film director? I remember for a very long time, I was not a big fan of Nollywood. I grew up watching a lot of Hollywood films, and I was just annoyed that the film tricks weren't really good. And as a 100 level mega semester rather, I stumbled into animation, and that was like my eureka moment. I knew that animation could be a tool to solve what we call bad film tricks in Nollywood, and that's what we call like visual effect and CGI. So that's where the journey started for me. I just really wanted to fix the problem of bad visual effects, so that I can expand the horizon for story writers to write more interesting stories than Nkechi Goes to School. So that probably was a pivotal moment for me. This is a short film. It's an action-packed car chase film in the heart of Marina, Eko, Lagos. It was born out of the idea of how can we use African narrative to rebrand the perception of Nigeria abroad. And if you go to the UK or go to the United States, there's a certain perception of Nigeria. They feel that we live in trees or we're improvised and everything. So I want to show the beautiful part of Nigeria. I mean, downtown CMS, we have modern infrastructure, we have a very cool car chase. But at the heart of the old action, there's a story, a very rich story. But let me not give you spoilers. I think you should wait for it to come out. So that's what Pussy is about. First off, you want to put 4 police cars chasing each other in the middle of CMS. That involves the government. I mean, talking to the government for close to 6 months, just trying to get the right permits to get police on our side. That alone was a lot of protocols. More so, I was 19 when I started shooting, so I was working with people that were like 20 years older than me. So I had to know my onions, so that when I'm on set, there's no disparity to who's the director on set. So I think this is where the key challenge is. Funding to at one point was a challenge, but luckily we were able to get investors on time that believed in the vision and were able to invest in it. Yeah. Not a movie. I'll call them ads. They're very short ads. I'm producing one on Thursday. I'm doing something really big. It's really more about athletics. So that's what I'm. But not for now. I'm not doing any major project. I'm trying to premiere Pursuit before I move on to bigger and greater things. Next 5 years, there should be an explosion that happens on top of Bridge. Not a real life explosion, not terrorist attack. It's gonna be the set of our next film. we tend to be closer to our dream of toppling Disney. That's our goal, because we want to be in charge of, we want to be part of the forces in charge of entertainment in the world, so we can restore the lost values and take out things like over-sexuality and homosexuality from the system. Gradually, that's the goal. Basically, my advice to, first of all, filmmakers: be true to yourself. Don't try to tell Hollywood stories. Don't try to tell Bollywood stories. African stories are rich enough. Imagine they had to do a whole Black Panther. That's how much they envy your stories. So don't try to be foreign. Be true and ingenuine and true to yourself. Secondly, don't give an excuse of your equipment. Just shoot with anything you have. If it's a phone, it's an iPod, shoot. Just go out there and shoot. So the idea is shut up and shoot. You get. So that's my first advice to filmmakers. Then to young people out there, one thing I will tell you is that the only way to do a great job is to do what you love. So look beyond the circumstances, look beyond the situation, and go out there and do what you love.
I have a job for you, Dare. This is not getting cars across a border. This is something big, something that will set you up for life.
I'm done, Chief. I'm done.
Genesis Labs has been in the news recently because of the controversial experimental cancer-curing drug.
After a high-speed chase this morning, Dare Omotosho, who stole an experimental cancer-curing drug from the ginseng lab, started up a fire.
Everything has been planned out. I only need a fast driver.
And what if he talks?
He can't.